More former employees of MrBeast are coming forward to share their experiences working with Jimmy, and the stories that have surfaced haven't exactly painted a flattering picture of the popular YouTuber. Over the past few weeks, the negative reports have only increased, yet Jimmy himself hasn't spoken up to address any of these claims about his company. News outlets continue to report on the ongoing revelations about the workplace culture, and the situation just seems to be getting worse. One of the latest to speak out is a former employee named Trey. For the past month and a half, there's been growing chatter about a toxic work environment at MrBeast, with some even accusing Jimmy of covering up sexual misconduct. Trey, who worked with MrBeast from 2018 to 2021, recently added his voice to the growing chorus of former employees sharing their stories online. Rosanna Pansino, who's been vocal about MrBeast for a while now, has amplified these voices by sharing their stories with her audience. Just this week, she tweeted out a YouTube video from The Asher Show that featured an interview with Trey, where he talked about his time working for MrBeast. Rosanna praised the interview, calling it great, and highlighting Trey's experience as a longtime editor and producer for the channel. In the video, Trey revealed that he was fired for refusing to work more than 45 hours a week, which he says is an illegal practice. He also spoke about how Jimmy demanded perfection from every video while putting in minimal effort himself. Trey further alleged that there was an internal investigation in 2020 after employees were reportedly given Adderall to help them finish their work faster, though nothing seemed to come of the investigation. Trey even discussed a chaotic moment during the filming of the video "I Got Hunted by the FBI," describing how the FBI talent hired for the shoot acted erratically, causing a car crash. He expressed gratitude to his friend at The Asher Show for giving him the opportunity to share his story. Trey's interview touched on a range of serious claims about the work environment at MrBeast, some of which he backed up with alleged screenshots. It seems like more and more is coming to light about what goes on behind the scenes, and the picture being painted isn't a good one.
There was a time in summer of 2020, it might have been fall, where Adderall was being passed around the company, and there were higher up employees that were offering it to other employees just so they could work all night and edit videos all night, so that way they could stop complaining and stop sleeping. And it was investigated internally within the company. But how far does that go? That's an employee, I believe that's one of James Warren's friends named Devin Leach. And that's him admitting right there that he is part of the crew that's passing around Adderall in the company. And by the way, in that message, John Smith is Jimmy. And it's funny that my proof of that being Jimmy is this message that I found where he sent an article of his wiki feed confirming that that's him. Yes.
The hours Trey described working at MrBeast's company sound downright unsustainable for anyone. Yet, it seems like MrBeast expects his employees to work at a superhuman level to keep up with the demands of the job.
I would stay up until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every single night, commenting on those videos on what needs to change. I worked Thanksgiving, Christmas, my 30th birthday, 4th of July, from 2020 to 2021, New Year's, every single holiday you can think of, I worked those holidays just so I could comment on these videos, and then I would go to bed at 3 or 4 a.m. and then get up at 9:30 the next day just so I could drive back to the studio and then work on production stuff.
Trey mentioned that his dismissal came not long after he expressed a desire to limit his work week to 45 hours and take weekends off, something the company wasn't able to accommodate for him.
We need to work more hours. We need to do this. We need to do that. And it was during that call that I was like, Jimmy, I'm not working more than 45 hours anymore per week. I'm not working Saturdays and Sundays anymore. I will continue working for you, but I'm not doing that. And he paused and he was taken aback. And he was like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. Which is, how do you say that? The average work week for an American is 40 hours a week. How are you going to say that to me?
Imagine being surprised that you won a weekend.
Yeah. And I got a message from one of the other leads a few hours later, or maybe the next day, saying we need to talk on Monday. And then there was a gaming session that happened on Monday, and I was there on the call, but no one was talking to me, so I knew what was coming. And it was just after that call, that lead called me, and he was just sorry, we got to let you go. I was just what can be, we can change things. Like, what can be done to change this? And he's just like, I'm sorry, that's just the way it has to be.
In his tweet, Trey also mentioned a video they shot where the first attempt at filming it didn't go well. Former employee Jake Wedd, who took part in one of MrBeast's solitary confinement videos, was involved in a shoot that also didn't turn out as planned. They never posted that video because it didn't go smoothly, and MrBeast had to tweak things and try again. Hearing about multiple failed video shoots where things go wrong and participants aren't treated well is wild. Of course, mistakes happen, but these aren't just small mistakes. These are the kind that put people at risk. And that's unacceptable. What's become clear from all this is that MrBeast is a relentless workaholic, focused on growing bigger, being the best, and staying on top. But in his drive for success, it seems he's neglecting to treat the people around him with the respect they deserve. And now, the empire he built might be starting to crumble under the weight of his own messiness. As of now, MrBeast hasn't responded to any of the allegations. Instead, like I mentioned before, he's lawyered up, hiring a well-known celebrity attorney. This lawyer has two tasks: conduct an independent investigation into the workplace and send cease and desist letters to stop the YouTube channel DogPack404 from posting more videos about him. However, PR experts have criticized this move, saying it doesn't look good for him to be on such a defensive streak. With him hiring a lawyer and staying silent, many people online are seeing this as a sign of guilt. Last month, creator Ludwig, who has worked closely with MrBeast, spoke out after his followers pushed him to address the situation. Ludwig claimed he talked to MrBeast, who said he plans to speak on everything once all the facts are out.
Now, I did talk to MrBeast because I was actually supposed to partner with him. And I said two things. One, when are you going to reply? And he echoed what was said in the DogPack video, which is when everything comes out, he's going to make one reply as opposed to a reply after every single video. So we'll see when that happens.
DogPack404 has already released the third part of his series exposing MrBeast, but said he won't be dropping any more videos until MrBeast addresses the situation. So now it's just a waiting game. Jimmy has yet to make any statement about the accusations, though he's still uploading videos to his channel. There was a noticeable gap between his latest post and the one before it, which had some people thinking he'd use the next video to speak up. But nope, the latest video was a Men vs. Women Survive the Wilderness for $500,000 challenge. Meanwhile, as he stays silent, more information continues to surface. Recently, Rosanna Pansino spoke to NBC and mentioned that she's in touch with about 30 current and former employees from MrBeast's production company, all sharing stories about the work culture there. 30 people is a significant number, and there are likely others who are scared to speak out because of how powerful Jimmy is in the internet world. She also admitted feeling frustrated herself, as her managers have already received concerned calls from brands considering whether they still want to work with her, just as her friends had warned her would happen. Despite that, Pansino says she's financially secure enough that YouTube and brand deals aren't her main sources of income anymore. It's pretty wild to hear that brands are reconsidering partnerships with her just because she spoke out against MrBeast. It seems like they only want her baking content and nothing more. And of course, there are people in her comment sections asking her to stick to her usual videos and not expose all this stuff. But with her huge platform, Pansino isn't backing down, even in the face of potential legal threats. For now, that's the latest on MrBeast and the growing allegations. There's been so much coming out, and I'll leave a link to the interview with Trey in the description so you can hear more of what he had to say about his time working for MrBeast. Let me know what you think. Is MrBeast finally gonna say something? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Love you all, and see you in the next video.